Hi, welcome. In this video I'm going to show you how to set the side and direction of a toolpath when profiling. The concept differs from other CAD/CAM systems in that we're going to create the toolpath first and then set the side and direction. So let's go ahead and create a profile operation. So choose the profile command and I'm going to enter some nominal Z positions and some cutting data. And before I do anything else, I'm going to select a tool via the tool manager. Let's choose tool 1. Okay, so I'd like to draw your attention to the contours to profile area. We have two tabs here, closed and open. Now you'll notice also down here we have a side and direction group. Now when I click the open tab, if you notice it changes, so there is a conceptual difference between closed and open. So let's just concentrate on closed for the time being. We've got a concept of outside and inside for the side, and a concept of clockwise and counterclockwise for the direction. Now when we add a contour to the operations that is closed, it will take on the default side and direction, which is outside and clockwise. So let me go ahead and do that. So I'm going to click the contour to select it, and then click the add button. So that's been added to the operation and the toolpath has been created instantly on the outside in a counterclockwise direction as indicated by the direction arrow here. Now if we want to change the side direction, we simply just click the appropriate button. So let's move this toolpath to the inside. So I'm going to click inside, so you can see it's moved to the inside, but still in a clockwise direction. That's probably not what you want. If you want to be climb milling, then you should be counterclockwise on the inside. That's actually a tip. If you pair off counterclockwise on the inside, it'll be climb milling. If you pair off outside with clockwise, it'll be climb milling, but on the outside. So that's quite simply it. Now there's one important concept you need to be aware of is that the contour has to be selected for these radio buttons to do anything. So to just show you that, I'm going to deselect all the contours by choosing the deselect all command. Now when I click the radio buttons, nothing's happening because there's nothing selected. So to make a change, I'm going to need to reselect the contour. So I'm going to reselect this contour by directly clicking it, and it's also selected in the closed tab as well, and then the side and direction will be correct for that contour. So, and now I can change the side and direction, and there's also a center, by the way, which will put the toolpath directly on the center. Now that's the closed, so I'll just put that back to the outside. Let's have a look at the open. So if I just select the open contour, if you notice it changed the tab instantly for me, and then I'm going to add the contour, and that's taken on the default for an open contour of left and keep. So as it's been left selected, because it's just been added, I can now choose the right and swap for the direction. These basically are based on how the contour was created. Now you're not expected to remember that. Really the idea is you just change the radio buttons and visually see and look at what's happening until you have the desired result. Now you might be wondering what happens if two contours have different side and direction, but they're both selected. Well, let's add these two contours at the top of the part here and demonstrate what happens. So I'm going to select this one and this one, and then add them both. And then I'm going to change the side to on the closed contour to the inside. So these two contours, this closed one here and this closed one here, are both in the operation, but they have a different side. So let me select them both. Now we have what we call an indeterminate state, and you can tell that because the inside and the outside radio button are highlighted. They're both still in effect, so if I click, say, the outside button, then it's changed to the outside. So that's something you need to be aware of. There is an indeterminate state, and that's true for the direction as well, and likewise, and in fact the external corner start point, and it's the same for the side and direction for the open contours. Next I want to show you about a radio button group we've not looked at yet, and this is on the closed contour tab. And if we look down the bottom, we've got an external corner start. And as you can see, this is only applicable to close, because if I choose the open, it's not there. What this is referring to is the start point on a closed contour. First, I just want to let you know about the concept of SharpCam, in that the start point of a toolpath will always follow the start point of a contour. It's not possible for them to be mismatched, and that's by design, and it helps keep the associativity between the toolpath and the contour. So at the moment the start point is just here, as you can see, and directly opposite is the start point on the toolpath. And we can change the start point on a closed contour by choosing the set start point. So let me choose that and just show you, for example, I can set it in the middle there. The snapping is now working. So if I click there, we get a dialog box letting us know that we've made a change to a contour, and this is going to affect an operation. That operation could have been suppressed, so we might not actually be able to see it. So it's just letting you know that there are consequences of what you're doing. So I'm going to click OK to accept that. And then I'm going to need to go back to the Operations tab, right click on the Profile 5 and choose Edit, so that we're back to where we were. So I'm going to need to select the contour first if I want to make any changes. It's still the same for external corner. The contour needs to be selected. Now I can select the contour by clicking directly on it here, but I can also select by directly clicking in the Contours to Profile tab. So left click, and that's selected it as well. Now at the moment, this external corner start point will do nothing because it's not on an external corner. There's no ambiguity as to where the start point needs to be. It's directly opposite the start point on the contour. Now the problem happens is I set the start point on the end there, another confirmation dialog box. Just back into the editing. We've got one point that's created an arc. So where do we want to start now? Well, this is what the external corner start is for. So let's just reselect that contour. Now I can choose, say, the beginning of the arc, and if you see there, the start point has jumped to the beginning of the arc, and if we want it at the end, we click the end. The last thing I want to show you is the technique for selecting multiple contours from within the Closed or Open tab. I'm going to create a new part for this, and then I'm going to create just a number of random lines. That should do. Choose the profile operation, add some nominal Z positions and cutting data. And I'm going to add all of these contours to the operation after I've selected the tool. So let's choose tool 1 again. Now I'm going to use the select tool command here. It's just the quickest way. And then click the add button. So you can see there we've got 7 contours added to the open tab. So I'm just going to click the deselect all button now. So all the contours are deselected in the client area, and likewise they're deselected in the open tab. Now to select contours within the open tab, there's a number of ways of doing it. If we just click each one with the left mouse button, it will deselect any other ones. And if you look in the client area, you can see them all being selected. If you want to select more than one, we can use the standard window Shift or Control. The Shift command will select a range from the currently selected item to where I click. So at the moment contour 6 is selected. If I hold down the Shift key, which I am now, click contour 2, and you can see it's selected everything in between what was selected and where I clicked. So that's the Shift select. Let's deselect everything. Now Control is slightly different in that it selects whatever you click. So let me just select, say, number 1. Then if I hold the Control key down and click number 4, so I'm multiple selecting, but I'm specifically choosing the ones I want to select. And then lastly, we can drag to select a range. So I'm going to left click the mouse on one, now keeping the button down there, and as I move, I'm selecting multiple items. And so there we are, that's the end of this video. Thank you very much.